People are lying to themselves, and it's very possible. I just told you my son had a Uzi. I'm not going to lie to the public. This is a crisis right now.
It's hard to believe, right? This lady just admitted that her son carries a gun to school. And this is what's going on in the great city of Baltimore. Fox 45 Baltimore has reported that this mom is moving her son out of Baltimore due to youth violence. And the young lady that we're talking about on the screen here is Patricia or Patty. She is a mom of 16-year-old Khalil and 2 other children. Her son recently was jumped and robbed and then found himself in a fight after school one day. And what's going on in Baltimore is very similar to what's going on in Chicago. You even have middle school kids losing their lives because of random shootings. And what I'm going to do right now is play that clip.
And Mayor Brandon Scott delivers his State of the City address tonight after a violent few days in Baltimore.
That's right. In just the past 24 hours, 6 people were shot in 3 different shootings. 1 of the victims died. 4 of those people were hurt in a single shooting along North Charles Street in North Baltimore today. Over the weekend, 4 young people ages 12 to 18 were shot. The 12-year-old victim, identified as Jalen Richards, died. And now we're hearing from one mother who says she pulled her son, who knew Jalen, out of the city to try to save his life.
People are lying to themselves, and it's very possible. I just told you my son had a Uzi. I'm not going to lie to the public. This is a crisis right now.
Mackenzie Frost spoke with that mother. We'll have her story coming up in a few minutes.
Jeff Abel has what the mayor said during his State of the City address tonight.
Our team coverage begins with Keith Daniels. Keith joins us live with more in regards to what we know about Jalen Richards and how the community is coming together. Keith?
Well, Kai, school officials say Jalen Richards was in the 6th grade. He was a student at Westport Academy Elementary Middle School, and tonight he's one of the city's youngest homicide victims. At Westport Homes in South Baltimore, recovering from the unthinkable. 12-year-old Jalen Richards, seen here in this photo from Murder, Inc. Baltimore, shot and killed. Longtime neighbor, known as Miss Cookie, in disbelief, saddened for the boy's family.
The mother's heart is aching. I don't even know if she have other children or not. I don't know that. But I know she got to be hurting because I'm a mother. She's hurt.
Someone gunned down Jalen at about 9 o'clock Saturday night. It happened on Mizell Court in the apartment complex. Police Commissioner Michael Harrison says they recovered what appears to be assault rifle casings on the ground after the shooting. Investigators are releasing few details about exactly what happened, but the commissioner did say this at the scene.
A shooter produced a firearm, an assault rifle type firearm, and began firing. Struck this young victim as the victim was running away. At some point, the victim collapsed about a block behind where we are.
I also want to play this particular interview of Patty, as we call her, our Patricia Hawkins, talking about the reason why she had to move her kids out of the neighborhood after talking to other parents. Let's listen to that.
Kids are beefing over the game, and then you have other adults intervening in the situation, and they're instigating it.
She says Khalil was jumped and robbed. And that's when she first learned about Jalen Richards, the 12-year-old who was gunned down Saturday night in South Baltimore.
I went to Jalen's mom, and I said, your son threatened my son with a gun. My son is getting ready to turn 17. My son would really hurt your son.
What made you go to his mom about what?
Because, you know, these kids knocked my son out.
But things did not get better. They only escalated. One day, Hawkins says she got a call from her daughter who said Khalil had a gun at school.
I walked in there by myself and grabbed my son out of their school with an Uzi in his backpack.
Your son had a gun in his?
Yes, he went up to Douglas to shoot up like those kids. He was not playing. They knocked him out and robbed him. All because he doesn't want to be in a gang.
Her son refusing to tell her where the gun came from. She turned it over to Baltimore police. and moved her son to Hagerstown. But before uprooting the family, Hawkins says she tried to meet with several parents of kids who were having problems.
Out of these 16, 7 of them are gone now. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing now. It's a crisis. I don't know how else to look at it.
But not much was done. Hawkins describing a lack of interest from some parents in their kids' lives.
This is getting crazy, and I'm recognizing that the parents care more about going out to clubs, partying. I've been pounding the streets with this situation with other parents.
Now, see, she said something very interesting there. You see, when she was trying to talk to the other parents, she noticed the other parents had no interest in their kids' lives. They were more used to going to the clubs, arguing, whatever. And we know that because, well, February 7th, 2023, Fox 45 News put up an article saying that 23 Baltimore schools have 0 students proficient in math per state test results. And most of these students, I can guarantee, has no father or will have no father living in that household. Now, see, let me just say this. She thinks that moving to a different city is going to help her children. But the problem is what kind of household those kids are living in. Your kids are already getting access to guns. They're not telling you. And see, how often are these people in the black community, us as a community, we're trying to go away from what works. You don't want the husband. You don't need a man. You want to do what you want to do. A lot of these children have multiple parents or multiple or different fathers. The father is not there. The father cannot provide. No leadership. So what do you expect? Nobody can discipline these boys. By the time they get 13 or 14, they're just too big to discipline. You know, the mom can't whoop them. And the moms have to typically work. A lot of black women are working, trying to take care of their kids. And that leaves the opportunity for gangs. These young men are looking for different leaders, or if they're young women, they're looking for somebody to play a father figure to them. And a lot of times it's an older guy, whether he's in the streets or not, and typically means the young woman no good. We're not going to get anywhere in black America or anywhere in the black world without families. All right. If these young men are coming up without fathers, do you think that moving to another neighborhood where there are kids that have their parents is going to help? No, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. Those kids, families, as many of them move into there, they're moving out too. That's why you call it white flight. All right. White flight. That's why inner city Baltimore is where it's at. You have parents producing children who have the potential, but they don't have the discipline to study. It's not being taught in the homes. They're not having the discipline to have the skills needed to run the economy, having the skill sets to be able to participate in the economy, because there are no standards in the household. 0. I mean, it's all over. Look, Chicago is having the same issue right now. Philadelphia is having the same issue right now. St. Louis is having the same issue right now. San Francisco, a Whole Foods just closed down there. Everybody in black America is having the same issue right now. Yet the issue that we want to stay away from it. We want to act like it doesn't exist. And I'm telling you, as long as we keep alienating black men, as long as black women and black men keep alienating each other, you're going to continue to see this carnage. It's not going, I don't care where you move. You can move to a white neighborhood, but those kids are still going to have problems because they just don't have the right infrastructure at home to make it. Kids need resources, love, money, and infrastructure, discipline. When you don't get that, what can your kids become? So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.